Now then, whatever the teaching space, be it large or small, you need to be seen to be heard. Being seen is half the battle. So even in a small classroom space, and this is a fairly small space, start to make the space comfortable for you. Now, if you could see, we've got 2 tables at the back of the room and a couple of empty chairs. Now, invariably, unless you have a very mature group, a group you can trust, opening this up to a classroom, someone's going to sit at the back of the room on the tables there, on the chairs there, with their backs facing you, or on the chairs there in the corner. So right away you've got to explain why you needn't sit there because there are empty seats at the front. And the reply will be, well, miss, if we're not supposed to sit on these chairs at these tables, why are they here? And so on. So before you start to use your voice in the lesson, unnecessary energy is going to explain why those desks needn't be used. So try to do a little bit of forward planning, and if you do come into the room, just put the chairs on the tables or get the tables out of the way. You want to make your space more comfortable because a little bit of manoeuvring at the start of the lesson will mean there's going to be less vocal stress and strain during the course of the lesson. So approach it in a rather military way. Establish your ground. You may have asked the caretaker to move empty chairs or get them out of the space, but spaces are invariably being used all throughout the day and evening, so that's not always possible. So move any unwanted chairs or any area that you don't want students to sit in, because you need to be seen, you need to be comfortable. Another factor that's going to help prevent voice strain is not to turn your back on the class. Now then, whiteboards and screens are invariably fixed to the wall. It's not like a movable easel, though you could move it, or a flip chart where you could move it strategically. So unless you feel comfortable with the class, unless you've got just a minimum of writing to do, try to avoid turning your back to the class. If your face isn't facing the class, then the voice is not going to be heard. It's inviting discipline problems. It's inviting a break of concentration. So either try to come in earlier and write things on the board if you must, or get someone to write things on the board as you're dictating so that you are facing the class and the voice is coming out. Try not to hide behind visual aids, so you have your screen here and your laptop here. Don't look down. If you're looking down, the voice is going to go down, so energy is going to go and tension again there. Don't hide behind a visual aid. It'll be misinterpreted as being tired or, a lack of confidence. So set it up, press, look out to the class, refer to the screen, but maintain this eye contact so the voice is actually going out to the people you're addressing. So whatever the time in the teaching day, the teaching week, or the teaching term, whatever the class size, the area that you are teaching in, or whatever the subject, certain elements must apply to your teaching voice. The voice needs to be supported by adequate breath supply, not the sort of day-to-day breathing, but a centered breathing that will sustain and power your voice. Speech needs to be clearly articulated, that will give it clarity and distinction so that it's easy to listen to and easy to understand. The voice needs to be resonated in the chest or the head or the throat, resonating for amplification. Pitch needs to be appropriate and varied so that the voice is interesting and vital, and the pitch can be used to deal with difficult acoustic surroundings. Projection and focus will carry your voice to its intended receiver so that it's carrying well and the person listening will receive it clearly. And of course, tone colour. This will carry the emotion and the mood of all the words that you are projecting to your listeners. So we're going to look at these elements now in detail so that you'll be able to apply them successfully to your teaching voice and have a vital voice that will sustain you whatever the acoustic surroundings. And hopefully with practice, your voice will be as energetic at the end of term as it is at the beginning.